Just make sure that connects. Last step is Discord. I really should just have had this open beforehand, but I didn't. Alrighty then. Let's hope that everything I did doesn't overload my computer and it crashes. Because that happens. So, hello! Welcome to the stream. So, I'm doing a little bit different for this Tuesday. I'm going to be drawing today. So, this animation idea came from Tango Tech's Meow stream. This is the one where he got like gifted a whole bunch of subs. It was really cool. I could only watch the VOD. But it was really cool. And in this particular time, Scar's off like fully AFK. But they... What? Why does my stream say no data? Okay. I don't know what was going on there. But yeah, fully AFK. They were earlier talking about potentially adding breezes to the back of Hungry Hermits as like a tornado kind of event. And they said Scarecrow. And that stuck in my head. So, as Tango is in his... he does like a little bit of a high-pitched voice that kind of sounds like he's in the middle of hysteria. I find it funny. I was like, hey, wouldn't it be funny if a Tango runs quite up to a Scarecrow while different notifications go off in the background about all the subs, looks, he just like at the Scarecrow, help, because that's what he does in that particular timestamp, and then runs off. I have 3 seconds done so far, and none of them are for audio yet. So, I quite literally just have the clouds moving in the background. And, like, I think this is for, like, 8 seconds or so. Okay. Quite literally just have the clouds moving. I timed that pause perfectly. So, the next step would be... Good question. That I asked myself, yes. I'm thinking about not changing it from this scene. Well, on one hand, I could have... on one hand, I could have, like, Tango come from this side, you know, running forward, run, kind of thing. And he goes, and he, like, talking to Scar and whatnot as things pop up. I am on a different layer. I'm not going to destroy my artwork like this. And then run off. But I could also have it so Tango comes, runs up, and it like zooms in to Scar's face. Then we have like the Tango, and then it zooms back out kind of thing as he runs off. Realistically, I could do both. We do that second one, you know, it has the added thing of I can add more detail to Scar. So then it's like, oh, hey, that's a non-living object. That's just a scarecrow, you know? But if we do it zoomed out like this, it kind of adds to the stillness of everything else, you know? Like, sure, you'll have the bubbles popping up all around kind of thing, but you won't have, like, the clouds will still be moving and there's nothing else going on. Kind of thinking about adding, like, waving crops and stuff in the background. I'm not quite confident in my ability to do that yet, though. So we can do either of those. I might do, admittedly, it might take a while, but I could just do another, yeah, let's start with another 5 seconds of just clouds moving. Give me a good base for actually doing other stuff. 60, so we're gonna go to 96? Because I'm using 12 frames a second. So 12 times 5 is 60. 36 plus 60 is 96. Yes, I'm going to frame 96. I'm probably going to have to draw a couple more clouds in, aren't I? Okay. I don't need this. Typically that works the other way around, but I guess it's not today. And apparently I did not put... Let me fix that on this one too. Kinda helps if you're drawing on the right layer. It only, you know, sometimes works then. Okay. After like 30 or so frames, I finally learned to just move the clouds onto a different layer. And it helped quite a bit. 37. $38. 39. 40. 41. like doing it every 10 and every second. I don't know why, I just do. .48's the next second increment, I think. 36 plus 12 is 48, yes. Okay. I have not moved the clouds yet. I should really be talking more. 45. Yeah, I started this one a couple, well, whenever, I think like a day or two after the Meow VOD came out. Because I watched the VODs and everything. What did I do to, how did I mess up the barn? What did I do to the barn? I've been moving the long layer. How long have I been doing that? Admittedly, that's quite funny to see. Look, clouds going, barns going. Alright, I guess I... Make sure you're on the right frames, I guess. Or not right layer, I guess. Oh, right. Sounds about right. How did I not notice the clouds weren't moving? If it wasn't obvious, this is my first time ever doing well, yeah, first time ever doing an animation. I did like a stop motion kind of animation for my end credit scene, but I mostly just did multiple layers, took screenshots of each layer and edited it later in a video editing software. So, because I didn't know the program I had does animation, which is this one, IS Paint. Ibis Paint, not sponsored. Next frame's gonna be our 4-second mark. Yeah, first time doing an animation or whatnot. I don't know why I chose this style. I was like thinking about it and I'm like, I don't really want to do line art for the background. And I drew this and I'm like, that looks good. I think I don't know. I haven't done like a character sheet or whatnot for Tango yet, so I don't know how I want to draw his character at all. Which is partially why I'm procrastinating and just moving the clouds in the back. Um, but yeah. I don't know how I want to draw his characters, so we're just gonna do this. And yeah. Should probably start drawing another cloud in soon. If I move the clouds yet. Yes, I have. I didn't even notice. Thank you for moving me over to the correct layer. Very much checking to make sure I didn't move something in the incorrect layer again. Now becomes the very difficult part of drawing in a cloud as you are moving everything else. I'm trying to make sure I don't bump the mic while I do this. This is number 50. Not 6, 5. I mean, it's a cloud. It doesn't have a definite shape, so. 60 is the next one, isn't it? Yeah. I have like multiple other ideas for animations now. I just never have the well, I say the time, but I very much do have the time. I just need to dedicate it to this. But I don't really have like the motivation or whatnot to do them, so that's why I'm like, hey, we'll make it a stream thing. I want to stream already, so might as well combine the two. I also very much do not know. Like, I looked it up, and I think I tried a little bit with bad internet to figure out how to get clips out of YouTube videos for audio purposes. It just didn't work too well. $156 right now. It's gonna be one funky cloud. It's gonna be one very funky cloud. Okay. I'm 3D printing a cloud. Or would it just be regular printing based off that's how printers work? Huh. I mean, both can do it much better than I can. 7. This one's 8. I think I'm gonna try widening the cloud again. Make this be like the tail part of the cloud and it be like a bigger cloud. Alright, this is number 60. Which means not only are we at the 5-second mark, we're 60 frames in. Woo! It will probably become apparent when I stream more, but I pick up speech patterns from things I watch, so you'll most likely be able to tell which like VODs and things I've been watching purely based off of how I'm speaking and everything like that. It's quite funny. I also pick up accents, which I always feel bad about because it's always just a poor mimicry of an accent. Um, but you know, okay. I try not to do it intentionally. Well, actually, I do sometimes do accents just because I want to get better at them, but it doesn't work very well typically. You are not supposed to have this guy. Boom. I can't have two frame 60s. That doesn't make any sense. I have the actual like YouTube Studio screen in front of me, and I saw the pop-up of the layer on the little thing of my screen, and it scared me because I totally thought it was like a separate pop-up for a second. I'm like, what's that? Oh, nothing. I scared my boss last night. So I had given my boss something, to sign work related, like a day off sheet or something like that. Um, and so near the end of the night, like 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes before I'm leaving, right? So I'm standing there in front of my machine talking to my coworker, already all cleaned up and everything. And, I don't notice the coworker looking weird at all. And so then I just hear, here, Ellie, and I turn, startled, because, what? And there's my boss with the paper. Well, I am so used to being startled at this job because I can't hear people walking up to me. It's too loud and everything, so I just can't hear it, so I'm just used to being startled. So I recover really quickly and just grab the paper and go, thanks. But because of me startling, my boss got startled, which was really funny. And, like, he was like, you could tell he's like, oh, and then walked off, and I'm like, did I startle him in return? My coworker went, yeah, and I'm like, okay then. And then I looked at my time off requests, saw that I got approved, and was like, okay, and then went home for the night. And then baked the cinnamon rolls that I was making yesterday. Yeah. 1, 2. Okay, I did move it. I wanted to make, apple pie filled cinnamon rolls, because I've been seeing a lot more of those, like, cinnamon roll muffin thingies on my feed, and I went, those look amazing. I want them, and I want to make them out of cinnamon pie filling, or apple pie filling, right? Well, I get off of work around midnight my time. Well, yeah, is that the correct thing to say? Maybe, I don't know. But I get off around midnight. So I come home and I'm like, okay, Friday night I had planned, make all the stuff, let the pie filling cool down, and then I put it in the blender, okay? Because if I want it to be like a paste to put on the dough, it needs to be like blended and a paste. So I'm like, okay, the blender it is. Well, my dad was asleep. And by the time and I'm like, okay, I'm not running the blender, when my dad is asleep. That's general household courtesy. Okay. So I'm like, you know what? I'll make it another day. Sunday after Father's Day and everything, I decided to make it. Father? One sec. talk about someone and they tend to text you asking if you're hungry. Answer is I could eat. So, yeah, once my dad texts that he'll be on his way, I'll end stream. It's gonna be a bit of a shorter stream today, but he also never texts this early typically that he's on his way home, so. But, yeah, so I had just, Sunday night, I'm like, you know what, it's, 9:30 at this point. I'll make some, not think it'll take too long. I'll make some cinnamon rolls. Okay. So I have to go to the store twice to begin with because we don't have bread flour or yeast, and then apparently we don't have any butter either. So need to go to the store twice. Yeah, at this point it's already 10. I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. And I get to making the dough. I kill probably most of the yeast because I didn't realize that the packet said to dissolve yeast. Yeast doesn't dissolve. You're just supposed to give it a light stir, but I didn't realize that, so I stirred it really aggressively, and had also squished it up against the side of the bowl to try to get it off my fork. So I killed probably at least half the yeast. And then I had gone through all the other steps. I had messed up the liquids twice, so I needed to keep adding more. It didn't turn out the greatest, but here we were. So I go and I put the dough in a separate bowl to let it rise. I'm like, alright, we're doing good, I should probably start tapering that cloud off. Yeah. That is one funky looking cloud. I'm like, okay, we got this. Bread doesn't really look like it did much while rising, but I mean, okay. During this time, I'm making the apple pie filling. It's doing decent. These aren't the right apples for apple pie filling, but I knew that going into it, and I just needed a test run kind of thing. So here we were. So we're like, I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's just, and I'm looking at it, and I chopped the apple slices up really small so that I wouldn't have to potentially worry about so I wouldn't have giant apple slices, because I was like, okay, it is probably 1:30 in the morning at this point. I'm not running the blender. So I'm like, okay, I'll just sort out it's not a thick sauce like I wanted, so I'm like, even though I added a ton of corn syrup to that, not the thick sauce like I wanted, so I'll just go and sort the apples out of it with a fork. That took a while. Sort the apples out and just put that on. Well, I also put a little bit of the juice on, and then the apples were moving all over the place and didn't want to stick on the dough. The dough was not wanting to stretch either. I needed to pizza dough this, pick it up, kind of spin it like gravity do its thing to let this dough stretch. So it's still too thick of dough. But I was done at this point. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. So and then as I'm rolling up the dough, the fillings are falling out as I'm chopping it, because I only have a knife, which I know you're not supposed to use for cinnamon rolls, but I only had the knife. So I'm like, whatever. um, the fillings are falling out, and because of how long I'm taking, the sauce, the apple pie filling sauce, is starting to react to the dough and overhydrate it and quite literally cause it to start falling apart. And I'm like, ah. So it was a disaster, but I got a muffin tin of it, which I realized afterwards, hey, cinnamon rolls don't go in a muffin tin. What was I thinking? Don't know. I'm not washing another dish. So I keep it in the muffin tin. And okay, this is number 70. So I'm keeping it in the muffin tin, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, okay, I gotta read the recipe, gotta let it rise for an hour. Great, okay. And then I read the recipe a little bit more, and I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I can still put it in the fridge, cover it up, put it in the fridge, and cook it the next day. That's good to know. I figured this out after letting it rise for another hour. So it's 2:30ish in the morning at this point. I'm tired. I'm done. My dog is looking at me on the couch like, can we go to bed yet? And I want to. So I'm just like, okay, we are, pack it up. So I wrap it up, put it in the fridge. It's rose quite a bit. And then last night when I got home, I took it out, to let it warm up and everything, like you're supposed to. And then I put it in the oven, and I baked them, and it only took like 25 minutes, like nearly exactly 25 minutes. And I had an edge, like my first cut of the edge piece, so it didn't have any filling on the inside, just on the top. But it was pretty good. Dough was, I would say dry, but I think that might also have to be with the fact that I didn't have any filling. But dough was a little dry and very much could have used some filling. But it tasted fine and it smelt amazing, so that's it. Like I said, it's a test run. I know more and I'll do differently next time. I didn't bring my water over here. Sounds about right. I'm gonna go get my water. My dog has decided she is definitely not going to join me this early in the morning and has laid back down on my bed. And then kind of looked at me like, when I came in for my water bottle. Sounds about right. 72. We are 6 seconds in. 3 of those being clouds movement, 3 of those being what we've done. We've spent probably 30 minutes doing 3 seconds of animation with cloud movement. Woo! Another 2 to go for our goal today. Did I move the clouds on this one? I did not. And that is why we double check. I am on the right layer. Is that my wake up alarm? It is. Time to wake up. Should probably disable it for stream days, but it might also be good to have. My nose started running. Apparently, the alarm was also the signal for my nose to start running. That's a new one. I grabbed the application instead on accident. This cloud is gonna look weird. It already does. I see a fish. Is 84 the next? Yeah. I had a dog hair on my tongue. That's not new or abnormal at all, but still upsetting. Upsetty spaghetti. Oh, jeez. Should probably do like a character sheet, shouldn't I? So I like for Tango and maybe the Twitch bubbles, or just on the one with Tango with the Twitch bubbles, just so I like have a reference for what I want to draw each time. That might be a good idea. That is a good idea. Not 6, 5. That's what I thought. I was like, wait a minute. I swear I had duplicate frame multiple times at this point. Yeah, I managed that one. How many did I skip? 2. Okay. You okay there, laptop? I hope so. Let me just move the mic a bit farther away. I hope the audio doesn't get messed up too badly on this. Two more till frame 80. I made a fish. I made a fish. Sounds about right, though, admittedly. It's even funny once you realize that this fish will be moving backwards. Why does my Fitbit never accept my original check of, yes, I am awake? Alrighty. I'm sorry. Alright, looks like my dad's home, so I gotta get going.